Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Ryan with Degenerate Passive Income coming to you today, this Tuesday evening, February 17th, 2026, like we do every single Tuesday night. We've only missed a couple, but we are here 95% of the time, ladies and gentlemen. And nowhere else will you find this from any CEO or founder or co-founder or, promoter that will take the time and do this every single week with you guys. We are here to answer your questions. So if there are questions, ladies and gentlemen, please ask them. That is why we are here. I get a ton of DMs. I know I try to get to all of them, guys, but I've got other things. I've got real life stuff going on, obviously, and I'm in a lot of other things online. And so just be patient with that. But this is the space. I know everyone can't make it, but this is the time to answer questions. I write most of them down and I bring them up here. So I've got a few questions, and obviously, guys, we welcome the hard questions. If you want to FUD, go ahead. Take advantage of the time that you have, and your voice can be heard here. I'm okay with that. FUD away. It doesn't matter to me. So with that said, guys, obviously the market is still in the tank. $67,000 Bitcoin, $1,900 ETH. I don't see it going up for at least another month and a half, unfortunately. But that's just in the times we're at right now. There's institutional money, guys. There is retail money involved. And until we see some kind of event happening, and it's just not going to happen. So, with that said, guys, please ask questions. That's why we're here. We're going to talk about Bernard bonds. We're going to talk about Plasm. We're going to talk about EarnFi. We're going to talk about everything, guys. Okay. We're here to talk. So any question, anytime. All right, guys. So with that said, as always, AJ is here with me. He is the founder and co-founder of all these things, guys. And that's why we're here. So you can actually talk to a person that helped build it and whose idea it is. And like I said before, no one else in the space does this. You saw my video, the scammer video that I put out 2 days ago. I've gotten a lot of heat in the DMs, a lot of people messaging me for, why you call it a scam? It's paying out. And like I said in that video, $22,000 I could have made by making 12 videos. I could do that in a day and a half. You know what? I'm not doing it, guys. Okay. I'm here. We're promoting everything under the EMP umbrella. I do not care about their $22,000 because you know what? It's going to happen. It's going to rug. So enough of that. AJ, I'm glad you could take your time out of your busy schedule. Again, I know you're busy building, and I appreciate that you always do that. You never quit. You never give up. I've been with you for 4.5 years now. And it's been a pleasure. We do some things in real life as well. And you know what? Thank you for taking the time, and welcome back to the channel.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, brother. Happy to be here as always. Our DeFi date night. And yeah, lots to go over as usual. Another great week and a lot more in the works. I know I see Joseph's in the house asking for some alpha already. We'll get to that. Yeah, for sure, man. We have some news coming with Plasm. Bonds are continuing to crush. I know you've been getting maybe a lot more interest with bonds this week. So I think we wanted to do kind of a high level overview again on what bonds are and how a lot of this works. Right, Ryan? I think that's where we're going to start.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of questions because of the recent videos that I've had. They're new to bonds. Like a couple of them, I'm trying to help them get crypto in their wallet set up and everything. So they're starting from scratch. So I would like to start with, well, first of all, guys, for the people who are in bonds already, let's address this really quick, AJ, so people aren't panicking. This daily profit and daily compound number, it is way down from what we've seen. Is it a UI issue? Is Bernard Bonds rugging, or what's the situation?
Yeah, Ryan, no doubt. So again, code is always something that you have to stay on top of. But yeah, we did check it. Volume has definitely been down. Again, it being the Chinese New Year, a holiday weekend here in America as well. So volume has definitely been down overall. And now we're back under $2,000 ETH. We're even dumping as we speak. But no, the numbers on the UI are off. I think it's just a UI issue. We did update some of the APIs when we integrated the Aave model, which we'll talk about in a second as well. So that might have had something to do with it. But realistically, we just did the math manually before I jumped on, and it should be more like 3,000. So it's definitely not $500, both compounding and profit. So
Okay, so we got that out of the way, guys. What you cannot deny is the amount of Bernard bonds that have been minted, which is going up every single day. I put a post, and I'm sorry I put that post. That offends some people. I've got some DMs about that as well. Why do you put that every morning? Well, I think because people should know what Bernard Bonds is doing, and I think it's good information. Because if you're not in it, I don't know what you're doing. If not making 122% APR right now, but it's good information to have. For everybody. That's just my opinion. You cannot deny there's 11,505 bonds minted, a total of 51,847, including the DexFi treasury bonds, guys. Okay. The current fund value is just a hair under 2.2 million because ETH is dumping, obviously. And total USDC distributed $1,244,781. Guys, that is happening nowhere else either. Okay. This is all verifiable on the blockchain by hitting this little button right here. You cannot hide money from DBank. You can't go and put a little code and he'll be like, oh, you know what? We don't want to show that we have $37,000 with the USDC laying around to get into new positions and things of that nature. We don't want to show, we have 80 grand into this vault on DexFi. And it's all right here, guys. Okay. Every penny is accounted for. Every single vault, every penny, every chain, it is all here for you to see. And if you go over transactions right there, it'll show when people mint. It'll show when they claim profits. It shows everything, all the deposits into the vaults. There's a buy, there's a mint. It is here for everyone to see by clicking a button. Once again, a first in crypto, obviously under the EMP umbrella, 100% transparency. You cannot hide it. You cannot fake it. It is right in front of you for you to see and go research, deep dive the numbers, whatever you want to do. It is there for you to see. And that is so important right now, ladies and gentlemen, because if you can't see it, it's not there. It is like PACA Finance saying they have $2 million that they're liquidity farming with right now. Those are the same people that I've said for the last 6 or 7 months saying you cannot make money with markets like these. Well, sorry, guys, but you're wrong, dead wrong. We have been printing since June 11th, okay? They've been losing, huge and permanent loss. I don't know what's left. It's probably zero, guys. So if you guys are still waiting for that, whatever. So that's out of the way. So let's start off, AJ. I want for you to explain how do we get to the price of a bond? What makes this 0.0214 ETH?
Yeah, 100%, Ryan. So again, we have to price the bond somehow, and in all honesty, it's a very simple formula. It's essentially the overall fund value divided by how many bonds there are. So as the bond value goes up, then and ETH stays the same, or if ETH goes down, but the other assets that we have exposure to, like Banker, REI, all the other alt tokens, quote unquote. Again, they are alts, but they're what I consider blue chip alts, meaning literally every protocol we have exposure to has real yield. We're not, getting exposure to memes or projects that are fly by night. So all that being said, like I said, if those assets go up more so than the actual price of ETH, or the actual, again, ratio of ETH, then the ETH value goes up. And then vice versa. If those bonds or if those assets go down, but the price of ETH goes up, again, in terms of the ratio, then bonds get a little bit cheaper. But all that, again, is also taking into account the overall market. So we know that ETH now is under 2 grand, and that also affects the ETH ratio a little bit. But more importantly, that actually affects the dollar value. So right now at $42, even if all things stayed the same, literally everything in the protocol in terms of the assets were the exact same price, but ETH doubled, then it would still be 0.214 Ethereum that's priced in, but a bond would now be worth $84 instead of 42 because now ETH is $4,000 instead of 2. So again, you get all the upside exposure to all the assets and ETH, and the hope is that the assets we're providing liquidity for, they also outperform ETH, and do, a 2-3x if ETH only does, a 2x. So, and that will be what pushes that price back to, 0.02, 0.03, 0.0, all the way up to hopefully the original mint price of 0.01. So, and again, or 0.1 rather. And again, I mean, all things considered, even though if you minted bonds literally on day one, um, if you factor in the yield, you actually been able to outperform the amount that ETH has dropped just from holding in your wallet. So we've been over that last week. We did the math. Again, when bonds released, ETH was right around 4K. So that's about a 50% loss if you're just holding your ETH, and you were able to do a little bit more than that if you were compounding the yield in that same amount of time. So it does work. Everything is working as intended. And by introducing the Aave strategy, which is a perfect segue, we were able to finally introduce a borrowing and lending strategy into the fund. Yeah, Ryan, if you go here and go to portfolio and go, it'll show the Aave position.
Right
Yep, there
there.
you go. Perfect. So, as you can see, we have, over 200 ETH, about 400K of actual ETH now in the fund, and if we were just holding ETH, it would have the same sort of effect, but we're not earning on that capital. So that's why APR would be a lot less. Now that we have the Aave strategy, again, this isn't leverage. This isn't it is borrowing, but it is doing it in a very, very conservative way. And you can see the LTV, the loan to value ratio is very healthy, right? Like 2.1. It's right, yeah, right there. So
Yeah.
that shows, yeah. So we would never, even if ETH went to $1,000, we would never be in jeopardy of liquidation. And because we're earning yield every day, we can pay that down as if the market does crash. But all that being said, now we have 200 ETH that we don't have to put into alts directly, because when you buy a bond, the ETH that you use to buy it, it goes into the other assets. Well, now we can borrow against the ETH. Again, you see almost 200K borrowed in USDC, and we use that USDC to then get exposure and earn on the alts. So it's just way more capital efficiency, and it will level out the price of bonds, because now there's 400 grand of ETH, um, basically, again, collateralizing the bonds as well, so that when ETH does recover, that ratio stays more true to the price of ETH. So it's just a win-win all the way around. And again, it should really help the actual floor price of bonds get better and better now that we're able to implement that while still allowing a high APR. Because, like I said, we could just hold Ethereum, but if we're not earning on 400 grand of ETH that just sits there, APR would suffer tremendously. So it's the best of both worlds now.
Right. So essentially, we put $400,000 into this and we loan out against it, but we still have the ETH asset at what we put it in, and we're just hoping for. Well, we know ETH's going to go up, and can we get out anytime, AJ, or how's that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So again,
Okay.
you do have to pay the loan back, but the reason it works well is because we're doing all the volume daily. So like when we compound, half the yield into buying more bonds, we could just use half that instead in paying the loan back. So again, it's not something we can liquidate overnight, but it is something that we would never really need to do that, even if there is a black swan event. As long as that LTV ratio is healthy, then it's never really an issue. And again, that's assuming we would see even another 50% correction in ETH from here. ETH sub $1,000. Even if it's in one single wick, it would never be an issue. And then yeah, to your point, Ryan, it's also a bit of a self-repaying um, loan as well, because when ETH goes up, that 200 ETH is now worth what 800 grand instead of 400 grand. So and we still only owe whatever the USDC that was borrowed. So
Right.
again, that's the beauty of borrowing, where you never have to sell. And this is what all the big guys do again. Even tax advantages. Anytime you borrow against crypto, that's not a taxable event. So it's what a lot of the big Bitcoin OGs do, where they're never actually selling their Bitcoin. So
Right.
I think it's really great to future proof the fund for sure.
Right. Okay. Now I understand, because I didn't even understand that before, but now I know how they make their money, how we make our money, and we're banking on, everybody knows me and you are ETH permables, so
For sure.
so
Yeah.
we think that it's gonna triple the next year. I mean, I don't think that's out of the question. Easily a triple from $2,000, I think, but 3 or 4x
Yeah.
anyway. And
No doubt.
remember when that happens, guys. Guess what happens when that triples? So does, and quadruples. So does the price of your bond, right? So, and I had that question as well. And this is for new users now. When you buy your bond, say it's 42.18 right now, it's 0.0214 ETH. When you decide to redeem your bond, which you can go right over here, unstake it, and click this redeem button, which you can do anytime you want. Your money is never held. It is always liquid. The protocol is always liquid with enough ETH to give you back when you decide, say an emergency. I need a quick $1,000. I need to liquidate 50 bonds or whatever it is. Takes about 48 hours, guys, during business week. You'll get your ETH back. And I just said it, ETH. You don't get USDC. You don't get a worthless stable. You get the asset back. So you get ETH back. So when ETH goes up, obviously you can sell your bond because you're getting ETH back and your money ahead. It's a double-edged sword. It's a win-win, because you're also claiming your USDC. If you've been watching this number, guys, this number has gone up almost $1 since we've been on this live. Okay. This stake right here makes me about $30 a day right now. Okay. Of 205 bonds. And you can claim this anytime for free. So it's free to claim. It's instant, waiting for nothing. It's in your wallet before you can even go back and check. And when you decide to, like I said, when you decide to redeem, boom, you redeem it. You get ETH back, not USDC. And I think that is super important for people to, and I know we've been talking about this so long, AJ, that I just forget about the smaller things that people don't understand, and new users coming in and things of that nature.
Yeah, no doubt, Ryan. And again, this is a good high-level overview. And please feel free to look at some of our old videos too. But yeah, ETH in, ETH out. Like you said, Ryan, the fund is always collateralized. So it does take us, we asked for about 48 hours to wind down positions. But that's just because if we do get a big withdrawal, we just need to be able to liquidate the LPs that are underperforming, or that that need to be rebalanced anyway. Again, it's just a lot more capital efficiency doing it that way. And to your point earlier about unwinding the Aave loans, yeah, I mean, all we would have to do, even if we got, I don't even know if one single person owns more than 250K of bonds, but even if they did, if they withdrew everything at once, we would just liquidate the LPs, we would pay back the loan, and then we'd have full access to all the funds and pay them out, and take their 10% to stay in the fund earning. And again, there is the only caveat that there's a 10% exit fee, but that it doesn't go to us, it doesn't go to Ryan, it doesn't go to our yacht parties. It goes to all of you that stay in the fund to continue to earn. And literally, one of the only reasons that we do that is so that people are not trying to swing trade bonds themselves. Because if we didn't have that, then if bonds went up, $10 in one day, and people sold because there was no reason to stay for longer time frames, then now we have to pay them out, and we have all this liquidity or dead capital not earning because we're paying people in and out, 10 times a day when the price moves, a dollar. So it's
Right.
just really a matter of trying to, truly make people understand that if you are getting into bonds, we always say it's best to be prepared to be in for at least 3 months to really get the full benefit. So
Right. Exactly. And AJ said it, and I'm going to repeat it, guys. When you
please.
redeem a bond or sell it, there is a 10% tax. Okay. So if you were to redeem a bond right now, $42, 10% of that's $4.21. So you get like $38 in ETH back. That money stays in the protocol, rewarding us OGs who are sticking it out and knowing what's good. It's not going to me. It's not going to Jake. It's not going to AJ. It's not going to anybody. Okay. Staying in the protocol, earning for us. More slices of pie for us. So be my guest and sell your bonds. If you're not smart, but because we'll take your 10% every single day. And that's not an issue. But yeah, I just wanted to, reiterate that because it's very important that people realize it is 10%, which isn't a lot, guys. There are no other fees for anything, and things of that nature. So with that said, AJ, I know, and people, you need to realize this APR, this fluctuates as well throughout the day, right? 122. It was as high as 125 today. It's been 130 the last few days before that, guys. So AJ, how is this APR? We know this is live and current, but how is this figured out?
Yeah, no doubt. So this is again one of the other big questions we get. It's important to go over. So I'll try to explain it, and then Ryan, you do a good job at summarizing. So feel free. But yeah, so the APR that is shown right now is the true 100% accurate APR at this very instant in time. So if you're buying a bond right this minute for 0.023213 $42, and you're earning again 122% APR on that at the moment. Now, again, we do that because we don't want to have a bait and switch moment, and that's just where the actual math is calculated at any given time. Now, that being said, the APR does fluctuate. So every Wednesday night, Thursday morning, we have an epoch, and the epoch is basically the previous week's yield deposited into a distribution contract. So we would never be able to give you an accurate APR, moving forward in real time because we don't know what the future holds. Nobody does. So we have to do it based on this release mechanism of a reward pool. So, but again, it is a true APR in terms of right now. It's just the reason it's high is because last week we had record number of yield in APR. And so this week, again, another way to think about it is this week yield has been down. So next week, the APR will be lower or in 2 days or 3 days because the previous week APR was lower. Now, about 3 or 4 months ago, we moved to an average of 2 weeks rather than individual weeks, even though we still deposit funds that were earned into the distribution contract every epoch once a week still. It's calculated based on 2 weeks. So the APR should smooth out again over time. And if you look at the historical data, which that's one thing we're working on right now, is to show the literal APR for the last 9 months since we've been running. And that is really the best way to track the true averaged return. And again, that's been about 60 to 65% for 9 months. So again, the numbers are very, very real and very attractive. Just understand that 122% APR right now may not be 122% APR next week. And again, if we have an amazing week, and all the volume returns, it could be even more than what's displayed. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw it once at 160%, like 3-4 months ago. It was insane.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
when you say the previous week now, AJ, so like this APR will change tomorrow night around this time. So that's the average from the when would that 2 weeks? Is that the average from 2 weeks before, like
Yeah,
tomorrow,
so
or 2 weeks before the week before that, or which week is it?
yeah, no doubt. So again, when I say it's an average of 2 weeks, it's still based on the actual distribution pool. So like right now, again, let me try to put math. So say that we earned, $50,000 in yield for the last 7 days. So that means every Thursday we deposit another 50 grand into the distribution contract based on the previous day's yield, but the actual distribution rate is based on 2 weeks. So again, when we add to it week by week, say we did 50K this week and we do 25K next week, that means that the APR is calculated based on 75 grand being distributed over 2 weeks. So
Okay.
again, it's a lot of math going on, but what the takeaway is that it's always based on the actual yield that we bring in, and all of this can be tracked on DBank. So if you do go back to DBank, you can see when we claim profits on the
Yeah.
transactions page, and anybody can do that math on their own if they really want to. So it's just again, right now we have like what around 30 grand in USDC, I think, in the
Yeah.
portfolio
37 grand.
average.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's already that those are some collections that we've done this week already. Usually if you see USDC on base, that is usually what's ready to be deposited into the distribution contract. If you see USDT or any other stable assets not on base, that's used to DCA on other opportunities, or if there's actual ETH that isn't in Aave, then we use that to DCA. Now that we have Aave though, you rarely see any funds just sitting idle. Which is another amazing part of that new strategy. As soon as we get the ETH in, we can put it in Aave, and then just borrow when we have a good entry on a new position or new release token. So.
Right. So is there like a fine line between, I mean, is it fair to say that you guys are comfortable with 400,000 in Aave, and say by the end of February another $500,000 comes into the TVL? Is Would you be putting more in Aave, or are you comfortable with 400,000, or are we looking for better opportunities like waiting it out, or what do you think there?
Yeah, there's a lot of variables that go into it, but yeah, I mean, I would love to have 100 million ETH in Aave. I mean, again, Aave is the gold standard. No exploits ever. There's probably $1 billion in Aave right now or more. But yeah, the whole idea is that rather than just holding ETH liquid, if we put it in Aave, then we have a lot more flexibility. And then yeah, to your point, Ryan, if there is a good opportunity, then we just borrow against the ETH to go into it. And over the next 6 months, after that, we hope that the yield literally pays, the position off. And
Right.
so now we're stacking, ETH, and we're stacking. It's basically a hybrid now into, a yield generating opportunity and a digital asset treasury, like MicroStrategy or any of those, that's just stacking Ethereum and earning yield. So yeah, I mean, again, that's all subject to change, but that's kind of the thought process behind it. So
Right. Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's a good explanation. I always wondered about that. You know, when I was Aave, I had to go research Aave a little bit. Yeah, they have, it's like $1 billion. It's insane amount of money in there, but
Yeah,
which is
for sure.
crazy. But I think that's a pretty good overview. Bernard Bonds, guys, if you're interested in getting, link is in the description. It is not a referral link. I get nothing for you to click it. Okay, there is zero Ponzi-onomics to Bernard Bonds. All right, there is zero. There is no referral links. There is no, you know, magic money that appears in your wallet for, you know, referring someone. It's just a straight up, you know, dashboard. It takes ETH on base to mint, guys. You connect your wallet. It's very simple. And you just watch, look what this number is at now. Like, I've almost made $2 when we've been sitting here. So it's real money. It's not some, AJ's not, you know, he's not, while he's talking to you guys, he's not saying, oh, I better drop some money into Ryan's wallet to make it look like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
all smart contracts, guys. Okay. And you can track it on chain. Okay. Like I said, and I'm going to continue to preach this for the next 10 years. If AJ can put up with my bullshit for the next 10 years, I'm going to continue to preach it that nobody else is going to do this. Be the 100% transparent, put it on DBank. No one else is going to come talk to you in front of a camera once a week on AMAs. You know, AJ does like 3 of them a week. And you won't find it anywhere. And that's what we pride ourselves on. That's why we're here every Tuesday night. Because Rome wasn't built in a day. And we are building something magical here. And it's just a matter of time before people realize, you know what? This is serious. And ladies and gentlemen, before ETH goes up, now is the time to buy your bonds, in my opinion, because I don't see ETH dropping a whole bunch, okay, right now. But bonds are cheap. I paid $275 per bond when I bought mine. Am I mad about it? No, I'm not, because I've been making USDC all along the way. That huge bag of ETH I've held since way before that. I have $900 ETH in my ledger. Okay. That has tanked since June 11th. All right. Like a lot. So I'm not bitter about it whatsoever, because I've been making USDC every single day on my other half of my ETH that I choose to put into projects like this. So anything else on Bernard Bonds, AJ, we need to touch on?
Yeah, no, I think that was a great overview. Again, I'm a big numbers guy, rather than just believing what Ryan and I say. And that's why we did this the way we did, is that we can be as transparent as humanly possible. And even with the market pretty much, nuking itself over the last, 4 months, bond prices, again, have been pretty stable. I mean, honestly, we've never really gone below 0.02 Ethereum in per bond in like 3 or 4 months, and we've been, even over the last month, we've been as high as 0.025. So again, we are finding a floor in the bond price, and that is bullish because a lot of the alts that we have exposure to have also found a floor price, and they have incredible volume. I mean, even still, we Banker, REI, some of the two that we have a lot of exposure to. REI hit all new all-time highs again today. Banker pulled back in price, but it's still doing about $1 million a day in volume. So as long as there's volume in crypto, bonds will succeed. And again, that's another really bullish part of all this, Ryan, is as long as you believe in crypto, the the upside is huge. So yeah, you see a big pullback. I mean, we were buying Banker, even another, at the lows right there, for months. So even with the pullback, bond prices really haven't suffered that much. And what we're still doing 800K in volume, Ryan? What
Yeah,
is that?
850K.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. Yeah, so and then REI, if you look at that one too, we were buying REI from almost day one, and now it's up big today. And yeah, and a little pullback now, but overall in up, what is that, 30% today alone, hitting new all-time highs earlier, in the day today. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of we and again, this is just two positions out of 50. I mean, we have a ton of diversification. We're in a bunch of different vaults. Although these are two of our bigger positions for sure, even if Banker went to zero tomorrow, it wouldn't wipe out the whole fund. And that's another really important metric, especially with the Aave strategy, is that we're always having, blue chip exposure with stacking ETH and nice diversification over many, many different assets.
Right. And all trackable, ladies and gentlemen, right here under transactions, every single dollar. And that's what's magical about this whole thing. There's no hiding money. There's no hiding debt. There's no devs. There's no hiding wallets. It is all right here for you to see. So links in the description for Bernard Bonds, guys. You want to get in? Great. If not, sit on the sidelines and, watch me print and everybody else. So I have no idea. Any idea how many wallets are in, AJ?
Ryan. Yeah, that's a good question, man. I don't know if we've ever tracked the actual wallet count, but I would say not a lot. I mean, you'd be surprised at how under the radar bonds are as a whole. So yeah, I mean the upside is huge, and that's the cool part too. Though obviously we would love to have more TVL, we'd love to have more users, but we're not reliant on new users, which is just incredible, man. What other protocol, even Bitcoin or ETH, their success relies on adoption and new users. Our success relies on volume, and that is just such a game changer in the way the economics work. And again, the way we can all sleep at night, knowing that as long as crypto is still moving, and arguably, when crypto is going down, the volume is even higher. So again, that's another reason we've seen some great APR. Is that with all that volatility and volume, the more fees that we're earning. So all of that is really powerful for sure.
Right. Tweet James, we have an interesting comment. I have no idea how you pick coins right now in this crazy market. I personally have no clue, but you're making yield, so cheers. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the master behind the scenes. I don't know if you want to comment on that, AJ, or not.
Yeah, no, I love this question or comment. And yeah, I mean, I'm happy to give you a little bit of inside baseball. So every token that we choose is based on fundamentals, and those fundamentals are at least 2 to 300K of liquidity. The volume to liquidity ratio has to be really high, meaning if we can get a token that does 200K of volume a day, and there's 200K of liquidity, so 1-to-1 volume to liquidity ratio, that is what we look for, and anything higher than that is amazing. Like Banker last week, has about 2 million liquidity, and it was doing 20 million in volume. So it was a 10-to-1 ratio. So those are the real ones to look for, and then more so, it has to have real yield. So just like we always preach real yield, every one of our tokens that we have exposure to is a legitimate business. So Banker earns fees from launching tokens through AI scripts. Again, when we saw the AI boom with OpenClaw and everything else, Banker went crazy. Another one we have exposure to is Edel or Aster, any of those, Limitless. Those are all perps exposure and trading, decentralized trading platforms where again they earn fees. So any of the tokens has to have again a real business model that generates income in order for us to get exposure. So those are just some of the things. And this is I mean, Jake and I have been doing this for 10 years. So, we're in the trenches. We know what to look for. We know what works and what doesn't. And yeah, that's just some of the again inside baseball of what goes into it. So
beautiful. Thank you for that question, Tweet James. I appreciate you showing up. I'm not sure if I've seen that name yet, but thank you for joining. I think that's about it for Bernard Bonds. We are going to switch over. I know Joseph Pigram or whatever his name is going to be super excited that we switch over to Plasm because he is a Plasm permabull if I've ever seen one.
Yeah,
And
no doubt.
we will go over to Plasm right now, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is printing 1.32% daily, which is absolutely like, okay, AJ, let's address the elephant in the room. These are
Yes,
absolute degen numbers. Like, what's the deal? Like, is this
yeah.
what's the
No,
situation?
no doubt, Ryan. Again, man, this is what blows my mind. Everybody else is going into these black boxes. I saw another interview today with Aurum, and just the stuff that's being said is just insane. And anybody can show a dashboard with fake numbers. What they can't show is all the on-chain proof. And we just went through 40 minutes of where the yield comes from. And Plasm utilizes the same engine that we just talked about on its own. And so, again, all the treasury numbers are in bonds right now, earning a daily yield. And right now, what we're seeing, Ryan, is the buy and burn of Plasm is outweighing the release schedule of the tokens. So when that happens, we're easily able to produce, 1% daily, um, over the next 77 days because of the token price being supported through this benevolent whale, known as our buy and burn. So, what happens is right now, as you can see, about 380K in bonds. That is producing about $1,300 a day, roughly. And that $1,300 goes into that total buy pool where every 10 minutes there's about $3 buying and burning Plasm nonstop. And so this is a game changer because no other protocols that are similar to this have ever integrated real yield. And why that matters is that the treasury never depletes. So 380K. Obviously, the dollar value is a little lower, but that's just because the price of ETH is lower. But if ETH doubles, again, the same principle applies. Now we have 600K or more than that, 800K of dollar value in the treasury. So yeah, even more. Look, next buy and burn with USDC is $6. So yeah, we're looking at about $15 a day, or $15 every 10 minutes, which is like about 1,300 a day.
Mhm.
And that again is pushing the price of Plasm up. So if you're getting into Plasm now, that 1% daily is based on the current token price. So, but if you look at the chart, we're historically finding a floor right now. And again, if the token price stays the same, that number will be 100% real of in 77 days of what you would have earned. And as you can see, we had a nice run up from the beginning of the month. We had a nice sell off as well, but now look, the chart's grinding back up again, and that upward movement over the last 2 days, that is from the buy and burn, just continually chugging away, and it will not stop. As long as bonds are paying, you literally cannot, stifle the growth. And so, as more fees come in to the protocol, as the treasury grows, the buy and burn gets bigger and bigger, producing more and more yield. And in another few months, we could see $2,000-3,000 a day buying and burning Plasm, which again makes the chart go up and to the right even quicker. So all this is really, really cool. And again, we've never seen anything like this, combining a daily creation platform with real yield, especially V3 real yield. There was one other protocol that tried to do it with V2 farming, but you're reliant on the token price of the protocol that you're farming. With V3 liquidity, you're not reliant on any token price for rewards. You're earning actual fees. So it's super powerful.
Exactly. And yeah, those, like I was saying, those are degen numbers, guys. And my stake ends. Let's just go to mine. You know, guys, I'm not scared of showing anything.
Yeah,
I'll
for
show you
sure.
my portfolio, and it is right here. And maybe we'll just run through this. What do these numbers mean? So I started off, and I look back. I have my notes right in front of me. I started off with 6,000 Plasm on launch night. Okay, I can't remember what day it was, but then because I promised at that time I am going to go in with fresh ETH every single 77 days for 5 cycles. Okay, and at the end of 5 cycles, hopefully I'm way further ahead than I was, because it's going to take a little bit of ETH, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So that 6,000 got me 28,500 Plasm. And right now, my ROI is at the 5 cents. It is, where do we got here? So my total Plasma got 116,000. And I've got how many days left? What day is it today? Is it 17th? And there's how many in the month? There's 28, so 11. I got exactly 2 weeks, 14 days left. So this should probably be what, about 135, 140,000, probably by the time this is done. That I will need to, that I'll be restaking with fresh ETH, guys. I'm estimating it's going to be between $10,000 and $15,000 with an ETH. That's a lot of money to me. Okay, so I'm a believer. I see how the chart is. I know how the team is. I know it's not going to rug. The coin's not going to go to zero. I choose to do that and take full advantage of Plasm. That is the way to go. Sure, you can go easy mode and sell half, 50 to 70% of your Plasm to, it's called the contribution. You're always going to be further ahead than that, but just a lot of people are like, oh my God, I got to sell half what I just made. Well, you 4X, so really you're still up a 2X. Maybe you want to go into that a little bit, AJ.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's perfect. I know Pulsar Bader, another longtime supporter, had the same kind of question here too. So yeah, the bottom line is the way the protocol is designed is that you're incentivized to go into either creating or staking to earn more Plasm than you would ever be able to buy with the same amount of ETH. So again, in your situation, we can look at this, Ryan, because the numbers are on the screen, and you were in on literally day one. So if you take into account what Ryan spent overall, I think it was about 65K,
Yep.
or I'm sorry, 6.5K
Yep.
in ETH. And now, as you can see, with 2 weeks left, and the current price of Plasm, he's pretty much break even today. So that means that he is earning now more Plasm, and again, it's an exponential yield as well, because the more you stake and the longer you stake, the more you actually earn from the release pool. But all that being said, he's going to have a major position now of probably around 150,000 Plasm, and be in profit even at today's level. So again, that's a 5 cent Plasm, where with the buy and burn now kicking in, this could be the floor of Plasm. I mean, we really don't know. And the release of Plasm is less by 0.08% every day. So again, this inverse equation of the buy and burn getting bigger and bigger, and the amount of Plasm you can earn getting less and less. So all of those impacts basically, again, mathematically a guarantee, and I use that word lightly, that the price will go up and to the right. So those are the numbers in front of you right now. Again, some of the FUD has been like, they got into Plasm early without a multiple cycle mindset. And yeah, you absolutely lost money if you minted in the very beginning and left after one cycle. But if you go back and watch every video that Ryan and I did, or any video I did on my own, you had to be committed to truly earn, for multiple cycles. And even 2 cycles in, Ryan, which is incredible, you're going to be break even already. So all that is so powerful. And again, you only, this gets misconstrued, but the price only matters when you sell. So now, if you just hold the Plasm that you made, Ryan, if you didn't have any more new fresh capital, which was one of the points that Pulsar made, you just have to hold your Plasm and wait for the buy and burn to push you into profit. Because if you were at 10 cents, if Plasm was at 10 cents, Ryan, you would have doubled your profitability, in that time frame. So again, it is not a get rich quick. Even though we are doing degenerate numbers right now, it's not a get rich overnight. But it just shows the power that we have within the platform. And another point I want to make is, as the price recovers, there's multiple things that are purposely designed into the protocol. As the price recovers on Plasm, it becomes cheaper to pay their contribution costs. So those that don't have extra capital and don't want to sell too much of their Plasm from using easy mode, all you have to do is either hold it or go into LStake, which is a new utility coming in hopefully a few more weeks. But by holding it and not selling, that means the price recovers quicker, and then it gets to the point where you can afford to stake because the costs are not astronomical. So all of it is by design, and again, it's working beautifully from what we had anticipated. And over the next 10 days, so we're day 142 right now. The end of cycle 2 will be on day 154. Because every day is 70, or every cycle is 77 days. We have very little tokens coming out over the next 10 days. And if you go to Fusion Watch, you can see basically zero coming out after tomorrow until day whatever that is, the 154. So
day 154 there's 48, or there's 45. But it's all here, guys. If you go to Fusion Watch, it's all taken care of here, and you can see the the Plasm being released. So
and even more so, I mean, there's going to be that lull because you're always incentivized to stake for the longest. So we could see incredible growth during that big period of no tokens coming out until people go in again. So if you faded Plasm for whatever reason, again, I know everybody in the chat is super bullish on Plasm, but if you're new or you're not seeing this or you're seeing this for the first time, the entry point of getting it now is unbelievable. And again, use Ryan's referral link, and you can do it. You buy Plasm off the market and stake on your own, or you can go to easy mode and it will do all the calculation and buying for you. So
right. And it's very simple. And I know Pulsar Bader, I get it. Some people don't have fresh ETH, and that's understandable. I would probably be holding two. I don't know if I would use easy mode, but I'd probably hold and wait till LStake comes out, because that's gonna be another thing that Grover's coming out with. Hopefully the first week of March will be launching that. I'm going to be staking, compounding, and restaking mine March 3rd, which is that's day 154. I'll be doing that live with AJ because it's on a Tuesday night. Thank God it's on a Tuesday night. We're going to come on our live AMA, and I'm going to spend some ETH, and I'm going to restake. And at the end of this whole situation, at the end of five cycles, I hope I'm a winner. But all I know is I've done the math, ladies and gentlemen. And if I do this for 5 cycles, and even if Plasm stayed at 5 cents, it is a massive gain, like multiple 6-figure gains. So maybe I'll be a hero, maybe I'll be a zero. I don't know, but we're going to find out. And you guys are going to see it live on my channel, whether I'm a hero or a zero, because this is why we're doing it, so you guys can see what's happening.
Yeah, no doubt, Ryan. And yeah, if you go, so I just want to go over the burn and the stats one more time, because what you said is 100% true. The people that are willing to go in, and if they do have fresh capital, even more so, that is the way to get ahead, big time. And it's astronomical. I mean, again, you can turn like your example directly, 6,000 Plasm on day one after 5 cycles turns into like over 1 million Plasm, which just really reduces your cost basis dramatically. And we have a bunch of great videos. We have another community member, CK. He does a daily update on Plasm, and it explains every bit of that math, every single day for you. So, but yeah, if you go right here, Ryan, go to stats real quick. I know we talked about the burn already, but this is the other incredible part here. So, um, as of right now, again, because the unlock schedule just so falls with the cycles, even though there's 89,000 Plasm being released every day, that doesn't mean that that all comes out at once. That's what goes into the reward pool, and that's why it's so important that you focus on accumulation, because you're earning that Plasm rather than having to buy it. And once you really understand that, you get real bullish on Plasm. And so already, Ryan, if you look at Plasm burned, we've burned 21% of the entire circulating supply, which is well over 1% now of the total 25-year supply, and it's getting quicker and quicker. And that was one thing I did want to mention is the psychological aspect of Plasm is unbelievable, because when the price goes down, the buy and burn actually buys and burns more Plasm. So now you're earning or you're owning more of the supply when the price goes down, and when the price goes up, you're earning more in dollar value. So it's one of the only protocols that you're excited when the price goes up and when the price goes down. Again, assuming you have a long-term mindset and this benevolent whale buying every single day and burning. And we'll look at that at the bottom. But again, this is so powerful. And as you can see, we've done over 85 grand of buying and burning. And that is money that is purely buying and never selling Plasm. And so what other protocol can say they have a benevolent whale that bought 85 grand of the token over 140 days and never sold it and never will sell it, and only grows more from here? I mean, those are the sort of things that nobody is really grasping, I don't think, outside of all of you that are here. So it really helps to explain it in that way. And even now we have the all-time high was just over 200 ETH. The only reason it's now back to 194 ETH was that the bond price ratio that we talked about earlier. So when ETH goes up, that ETH balance and ETH ratio that goes up as well. So not only that, but you have full exposure to all the bond price appreciation and yield through Plasm as well. And one more real quick note. Somebody made this comment today in another group, and I thought it was so cool to think about. One of the things when people sell and leave Plasm, they're leaving their yield behind, meaning they spent money buying a bond through their contribution. And if you sell your Plasm and leave, whether you're in profit or not, that doesn't really matter, but you're leaving your yield generator behind. And so why that is so cool is that, just like with bonds, when somebody exits, they leave 10% for all of us to earn on. Whenever somebody leaves and sells Plasm, you can think of it as all of us are earning more proportionally from bonds. And again, when you think about it like that, the psychological impact is huge, because you actually want people to sell and leave so that you can accumulate more. And I've never been in a protocol where I'm asking people to sell, so that is really, really cool. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And you can get into Plasm. Links in the description, guys. You can buy it right here. You can easy mode. You go with USDC. It's all on base, guys. If you've got eShare or ETH, doesn't matter. 77 days. Okay, I was thinking about this whole thing because you said it earlier, AJ. If you don't have a long-term mindset, all right, this whole thing, this isn't 2021 anymore, guys, okay? There's no 5% a day things. There's no 10% a day things. They're all Ponzi's. If you don't have a long-term mindset, 90 days, 120 days, whatever, 30 days doesn't work anymore, okay? 60 days barely works, okay, on anything. If you don't have that, I don't think it's a good idea for you to get in. I don't want to, deter people from not getting into something like bonds or Plasm or whatever, but just don't, because I don't want the headaches and the chats. Oh my God, my ROI is down and then this and that. It's because you're used to Ponzi's, okay? That's what you're used to. There's no more get rich quick schemes in crypto anymore with retail money, retail investors, institutional money, okay? There's no more moonshots. There's no more 1000x mem coins. If you get one of those, you have a better chance of winning the lottery, okay? So I just want to preach a long-term mindset. If you're too impatient for that, go put it somewhere else, okay? I just, I don't want to deter you from things, but just, it's not worth it to me to hear about, listen to the complaining and, oh my gosh, my ROI is down. And one thing we should need to talk about, and I saw it brought up, where do I see, we're talking about shares or a percentage ownership.
Yeah.
I saw I fell below now. So I'm less than 1% now. I used to be like 1.05. How important is that?
Yeah, Ryan, perfect, bro. So first of all, I agree 1,000,000% with what you just said a minute ago. Again, it's a whole new world that we live in, and yeah, I mean, it is those that are so focused on the get rich quick, arguably is what's wrong with crypto in the current landscape. So do yourself a favor, adjust your expectations, and get into projects that have real yield. So, but yeah, all that being said. Yeah, let's talk about shares. So yeah, you essentially are earning from what we call the emissions pool, and every day there's about 80, like I said, 89,000 plasm, and it goes down 0.08% every day. So after the first year, there's very little plasm that even goes into the emissions pool, and then 10 years, it's like more than half less. And again, this isn't inflation. There is a fixed supply of plasm, but it is essentially, for lack of a better word, mined over the next 25 years. So your share rate is similar to hash power, where you want to have the highest share rate because that determines the amount of plasm that you get moving forward. And so in your case, Ryan, yeah, your ownership has gone down below 1% because new people have been creating while you're doing it all at once. Some other people do it in ladders where they're doing it every day, a lot smaller amounts. There really isn't a right or wrong answer to that. Again, you may be able to get a little bit more percentage either way, but that just depends on the way the market moves and the price. So the more important part is that you're going in for multiple cycles. So when you do your restake, Ryan,
Mhm.
in the next cycle, then your ownership should go up dramatically because now you have 150,000 plasm earning instead of 87,000 plasm or whatever you have in now. I don't know. What did you start this round with? Yeah, I
28,000.
think yeah, so yeah, exactly. So again, that's the difference. And a number to shoot for, based on the burn rate right now and the total supply of plasm, um, only about 600,000 plasm total is 1% ownership. So and that's over 20 years. So if you can get to that number within the first, year or two, you're gonna be set, man. And again, that's why we always saying it's important to do it now. And again, I mean, people say, well, how do I make money when I exit? Yeah, the whole point is, and by cycle 5, or a year from now, then the buy and burn is doing literally, $3,000-4,000 a day in buying pressure. You could sell, $200, $300, $400 of plasm a day and never hurt the chart at all. So that's the angle, is true passive income selling into the buy and burn every day. So
Right. Yeah. So I shouldn't be panicking. I shouldn't go buy a bunch of plasma to get this number up right now, is what you're saying?
yeah, I don't know, not financial advice, but yeah, maybe Ryan, maybe you need to pack your bags even more, bro. So yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. But once again, guys, I'm doing this live March 3rd. Okay. It's about this time on March 3rd, a little earlier than this. I think my stake ends at like 7:35 Central Standard Time that night. And I'll be doing it from Scottsdale, Arizona, at my mom and dad's house down there. I'm spending the week of my 50th birthday down there, and I'll be doing it down there. So we're going to do it live with AJ, and you're going to see me put a bunch of ETH into this thing, and we're going to check out the numbers after that. And I mean, let's go. I'm excited, right? Yeah, it is a lot of money to me. And I know a lot of people are running out of fresh capital because, the market's in the shitter and everything else. And, life is hard, right? So I get that. My response to that is hold and wait for L stake, hold and wait for price appreciation of Plasm and things of that nature. If you don't want to sell 50, 60, 70% on easy mode. But keep in mind, if you're doing easy mode, you're still going to be better off at the end of that 77 days. You're still going to get pretty much a double, right? You're not going to get a 4x, but you're going to get a double, by the time it's done.
Yeah, and to that point, again, right, that's a great thing to wrap it up on. So yeah, you would just need to do the math on your own. I did the math about a week ago, and it was still the right move to go into easy mode with Plasm. So again, it does suck to have to sell your Plasm, and obviously that does affect the chart as well. So I would be very careful and not do like 50,000 Plasm at once because you're going to get killed with slippage, and it's just not good overall. But remember, when you do that, you're feeding bonds, and that is the silver lining, where we have a little bit of short-term pain on the chart and the price, but every dollar that goes into bonds with that contribution costs, remember, we call it a fee, but it really isn't a fee. It's more like a contribution where that money is put to work, just like a retirement fund or anything else. You're essentially putting in, a dollar today, hoping you get $10, in the future. And so all of that is what will happen as the treasury grows and as bonds continue to produce. So yeah, I would just, do the math on your own. When you go to easy mode, it will tell you how much you have to sell as well. If you go to earn and then even selecting Plasm and then go down, Ryan, it'll tell you all the numbers if you go a little lower even. So yeah, there you go, to show you what you have to sell, what it will equal, and you can confirm all that if it's worth it. And again, if you want to hold the Plasm, just wait for the other utilities like L stake to come out, or by holding, you're also helping the protocol because then the buy and burn can push the price up to where it's cheaper to stake anyway. So there's so many different mechanisms that are beneficial to not only you but also the protocol. So
Exactly. So make sure it's 2 weeks from tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be going live. Make sure to do that one. You're gonna see them do it. I'm gonna do it right in front of you. Spend a bunch of ETH, and I'm going back in compounding and restaking. So make sure to tune in, and we'll go over the numbers. We'll go over everything. I'm excited about that. We should take a couple questions before we get too far here.
yes.
Mike says, in theory, if we get a bull market, how much can bond prices increase by?
Yeah, I mean, again, brother, it's a real bull market. You usually get, 2 to 5 to 10x on alts. So that would put their bond ratio again at, 0. What is that? 0.1 essentially what we started at. And you would have been earning yield the entire time on that alone. And then if you factor in, the alts perform 2 to 5 to 10x, then ETH performs 2 to 3x. I mean, you're talking again astronomical numbers. I mean, we could see the bond price alone 10x, and the yield 10x. So again, I think all that is very doable with a real bull market. I don't know. Again, it could be a year, it could be another 2 or 3 years. Who knows? It could be 6 months. So we don't have a time frame, but the fundamentals are really powerful for all that we have, for sure.
Right. Okay. Perfect. I do want to go over one thing. eShare. I want to go over. I think it is this number right here.
Oh,
Um,
yes, the ratio. Yeah, it's
yeah.
on Plasm, Ryan. Yeah. Good
Oh,
reminder.
Plasm.
We
Yeah.
we should
Yeah. What
be
am I doing?
yeah, Plasm
Plasm.
B share. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah. There we go.
Yep. All right, so yeah, it's a great chart to look at. And again, this is what I was saying in terms of what makes it cheaper or more expensive to stake. So as you can see from the 25th of January, we've been going up and up and up with the eShare Plasm ratio. We had a big sell-off, and then right on cue, the buy and burn just bought it right back up again. So the whole idea is that as this price or this ratio goes back up, it gets less and less expensive to stake. And we will eventually get to an equilibrium at 0.02, I believe it is. Right now we're at 0.005. When we get up to 0.02, or maybe zero point 0.2, that's where the equilibrium is. And what that means is that then it will be more profitable to start creating rather than staking. And the nomenclature is a bit misleading, because when we say creating, we're not actually creating more plasm, but it means that you can only get more plasm with fresh capital. Because when staking, with staking, you already have plasm, and you have to pay the contribution costs. And so when we get to where creating is more profitable, you have to bring fresh capital in, and that does a whole nother mechanism of fueling bonds. And again, the protocol is designed to always, always, always put as much capital into bonds or into the treasury as humanly possible. So all the design features and the way the economics work are always going back to that thesis. So yeah, it's a great thing to bring up. But as you can see, Ryan, we hit the lows, about a month ago now, and it should be a nice steady grind from here, because bonds APR has gone up, and the overall amount of bonds has gone up as well. So
Right. Perfect. Okay. There are a couple EarnFi questions, so maybe we'll just touch on EarnFi real quick. Marvin, we already
yep.
answered this question. He says, if I requested to withdraw my funds from EarnFi, when can I expect to receive them? The answer is tomorrow, Marvin. Okay. Sometime tomorrow, you'll be able to get your money. You'll be able to go and claim it, and the claiming is instant. That's correct, AJ?
Yeah, no doubt. So it's been the same from literally day one, but people always ask. So yeah, when the window ends, we get a report that says how much money and dollar value has been requested to be withdrawn. We can't initiate a withdrawal before the window ends until we know that number. And then once we have that number, we have to have the funds ready to deploy. So yeah, the short answer is we usually say between 48 hours after the window closes. It's always been that way. And yeah, but by tomorrow or the latest Thursday, they'll be deposited. And then follow the EarnFi chat for an announcement. We'll say you can now claim your withdrawal. So
Right. Yeah. And then Keith's got a question. I want to get some clarity on EarnFi to know if we plan to have normalized returns for this cycle, or if we have to wait, still due to funds slowly coming off of the broker.
yeah, no doubt, Keith. So again, it's been a struggle trying to get money back off. Everything was good. We got the majority of it off, but now they're really limiting what we can do. Again, I don't know why we weren't having problems, and now we are. But all that being said, yeah, the whole idea is to normalize the returns back to what we were doing, and that is more because of being trading crypto. So again, we are now back to the bot doing crypto, and we talked about it last week, but I gave Ryan a sneak peek at the new app, and everything is on chain. You see all the trades, you see all the capital deployed, and it's really a much better system than this. So yeah, I'm hoping that, and again, we don't have a crystal ball. All the money could go to zero tomorrow. So, I can't guarantee anything, but we're hoping that it does normalize for sure. So
Yeah, but all the all the funds will be off by the end of the next cycle. You think pretty close?
yeah,
Or?
so we're at about 75% now. So yeah, again, I'm hoping that again they've rate limited it now to a max supply or a max withdrawal once a week. But yeah, I mean, in the next 24 days, it should be able to get the remainder off for sure.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Excellent. Now we need to touch on FortuneFi. Let's see. Oh, Marvin's asking about will it trade perps or what is it trading?
Yeah, Marvin. So it's basically only spot for Bitcoin and ETH. So there's a whole nother level of integration and honestly more levels of risk when we introduce the leverage trading. And that may be something we can do down the road, but for right now it's just spot trading Bitcoin and ETH. And again, Ryan can attest, but we show all that on chain with the new model. So
yeah, it shows the wins and losses, and then you could click on the little just a little thing like you have on Bernard Bonds here. It goes and it shows the actual transaction on the blockchain of what where. It's awesome. The dashboard is I look at it every day, guys. It's superior. You're gonna love it. So, and like AJ said, we're gonna give it a shot. I'm in, as you guys can see, I'm in for 50K. So I'm game. I'm game to try it out. So, and that's what we're doing now. And we got to talk about FortuneFi, AJ. We had the drawing last Friday night. So I buy 13 tickets every week because I want to be in the whale pot, guys. Because to be in the whale pot, you have to spend $100 or more every week. All 13 times 2 is 26. 26 times 4 is 104. So I buy 13 tickets a week, and that gets me into the whale pot every week. So that means I have more tickets than a lot inside of the where is it here? Live draw and the weekly side pot right now. Okay, it's $107. I won 3 times alone in the weekly side pot. So I won $33. And it doesn't matter because I give it all away, guys. I'm giving that plus another $30 away because I give 2 or 3 more out during the day. So if you're not in the Telegram group, okay, link is in the description. If you guys don't like free shit, I don't know what's wrong with you, okay? But I give away free tickets every single day. I've been giving away 3 free tickets for a long time, okay? So get in there. Even if you don't want to be in FortuneFi, please join it. Please click the link, connect your wallet, and come join the Telegram group. And if you answer the question right, I ask dumb questions every day, and you can win a free ticket and have a chance at one of the jackpots, okay? It's free. You don't have to do anything. So I don't know why people aren't flocking in there we only have like 102 members, but whatever. People don't understand. But this is the latest and the greatest, guys. This is the Powerball, the mega millions of crypto. I'm excited about because I know one day, a year from now, 10 months from now, you're going to come back here and this thing's going to be $100,000 and people are going to be buying 100 tickets a week to try get this, jackpot and side pots and things of that nature. But once again, this is an all, you can track every single thing that's happening in this protocol because there's the old debank button that shows the whole portfolio. It shows every transaction when people buy for, there it is. Okay, so 3 hours ago, it bought a Bernard bond right there for 42.43. That is how this protocol makes money. The ETH that gets deposited goes in, and when there's enough, it goes to buy a Bernard bond using it for yield. Okay, guys? And then that adds to the pot, like I think it's every 10 minutes or something like that, is when the API kicks it out and we get rewarded. And you can go see that. You click the protocol button. We've got 38 bonds making us $5.39 a day. Okay. And there's the pending amount that needs to go in there. And you can see that go in there on chain too, guys. All right. And how that is split, guys, is right here. Now, this is the rewards. All the ETH that's deposited goes into buy Bernard bonds. The yield gets split 50% for the main jackpot, 35% for the weekly pot, 10% for the developer fee, and the monthly whale pot gets 5%. The monthly whale pot is drawn every the last Friday of every month. So we've got 2 Fridays left. The 27th of February, the whale pot will be drawn, and someone's probably going to win it. But I mean, who knows? So this drawing is on Friday nights at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Me and AJ watch it live every week. It'll come down, and at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, I think it took like maybe 15, 30 seconds after that, and it started rolling these numbers, bang, 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 all the way across. And it was instantly paid out to my wallet. And now, the beautiful thing is, I got these amazing, and I put it in my last video, guys, I got these amazing notifications on my screen. You don't have to wonder if you won anymore. It'll come up right on your screen saying, you won this, go to claim, you won this. Because some of you have to claim, some of you don't. And you'll get a notification on your screen saying you have won. And I love that. Under my stats, my total spent $290. Winnings $33.18. I won 6 free tickets last week. So I'm still going through those. I'm giving away anyway, guys. So I'm giving away like 40 tickets this week or something like that, 50, whatever it is. So please join the Telegram group. I don't know why you wouldn't. I got 14 active because obviously I buy 13 tickets every week. I want to be in the whale pot. I'm at silver tier, so I'm getting 5%. That doesn't matter to me either, guys. That's 10 cents per ticket sold. I get dropped into my wallet when someone buys. I give more than that away because I care less about the rural. But if you're a link share, the commissions are juicy. If you hit 25, you're going to get 10%. That means you get 20 cents per ticket if someone bought under you. Okay, so keep that in mind if you're if you're an MLM person or a link share. But here's the proof. Look at all these tickets I've given away. There's the wallets, summary by wallet, and all these tickets have been given away by me. So please join the group. Join in on the fun. We have a good time in there, and be part of it. It's a good time. It's real yield from bonds because everybody loves bonds. That's what it's all about. Do you want to touch on anything I've said? Because we needed to talk about the streaks is the main thing, AJ.
Yeah, no doubt, Ryan. You did an amazing overview, bro. Again, I love this protocol, bro. I think once you hit the nail on the head. Once we get over 10K in the main jackpot, I think people are really gonna start getting excited for it. And I mean, we've been doing this for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks now, and you can see that automatic compounding really has been working. I mean, we're buying more and more bonds every single day from deposits and from the compounding. So, and even the weekly pot, it was basically yielding 0 every week, and now we're going to be over $10 a week, and that's just in 3 weeks. So obviously we seed the jackpot for the weekly with $100, so it's at least worth it. It's a 5x for anybody that wins. But that just shows that number is growing as well. So everything is working as intended. Next week, we'll do a big seed for the whale pot as well. So keep an eye out for that. If you haven't already qualified for the whale pot, make sure you're spending at least $100 over the course of the month to qualify. But yeah, the only other thing you didn't mention was the streak bonus. So yeah, as long as you buy 1 ticket every single week, so $2, literally $2, every single week, you qualify for the streak bonus. And every week that you do this, you get a better and better deal on future tickets. And so at the end of an entire year, 52 weeks, you are literally able to buy one, get one free, which doubles your odds with tickets. So it is a really, it's a commitment, but $2 a week for the next, 52 weeks or 50 weeks for those that were in early, you're doubling your odds of winning, and that doubles your odds for everything, for the main jackpot, for the weekly pot, and for the whale pot, because the weekly and the monthly whale pot, those are picked based on just the number of tickets that are sold. So even though the main jackpot is 1 in 300 million, real odds, that the weekly is incredible odds. You get basically a 1 in 10 chance right now to win, which is really killer. And Ryan, you won 3 times. So again, but the first week you won 12 cents. So the
Right.
RNG odds were in your favor, man. So, but yeah,
Right.
again, I'm really excited for this. And it's all based on real yield. So the jackpot will always grow, and it's all hands off. Other than redemption of the grand prize, everything is handled automatically. You get the money sent all through smart contracts right into your wallet. So
Exactly. And yeah, other than if you win this, and this, guys, is the actual number minus 10%. So 70, this is 70% of the TVL. Okay. If someone hits the jackpot, that this amount will be paid out because it's only 70%. The other 30% stays in. So the jackpot won't be zero for the next week. It'll have 30% of the TVL. And so we won't be back starting from nothing. At least we'll have some kind of incentive to get in. And that takes up to 40 hours because we have to liquidate bonds, right, to pay this out.
yeah, exactly.
This is real yield, guys. This is no joke. This is no Ponzi. This is nothing, okay? You can have a referral link in this thing because it is real yield. So just saying, like AJ said, I love this. It's neat. It's never been done. It's the Powerball and the Mega Millions of crypto. I think it's going to be huge. I'm super excited about it. Please join the Telegram group and get involved. At least try win some free tickets. It's a no-brainer.
Yep, no doubt. Right. The only other thing I was going to say real quick, speaking of transparency, is this has its own DBank as well. So I don't know if you want to click on that real quick, but you can see, like Ryan said, the split. There's actually a 1,600 in the account. So the split's already taken out. So
yeah, and that 70% is the jackpot. So it'll never go to zero. We'll just start with 30% of that number in there. And like I said, if you're a link share, copy this, show it to your friends, neighbors, whatever, and you can make a little bit of referral commission. I mean, it's not a ton, guys, but whatever. I give mine away. I don't really care if people use it or not. It's in the description if you want to check it out. At least get signed up and come into the Telegram group and win some free tickets. It's free. It's easy to do. And the drawing is Friday nights at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time on the dot. The wheels will start spinning and it's instantly, and you can make your deposits after that. Remember the streaks. Now, next year at this time, okay, or 49 weeks from now, when I buy my 13 tickets, I'm actually getting 26. So you guys are going to be behind the 8 ball when you're buying 13. If you miss one or you're only buying one, you're getting one. I'm getting double for every one that I want to buy. And that's the way I'm playing the game. But if you miss a week, guys, it will reset, okay? It has to be every single week. Some people wait to the last minute to buy them. I don't understand what the point of that is because it's only $2. The sooner that you get in, a daily ticket is given away every single night at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, guys, okay? So if you have a ticket, you have 6 nights to get a free ticket because every night it picks a wallet address, okay? So, I mean, people are weird. Get in at the last minute if you want. Plus, that money can be used to buy bonds earlier and make more USDC for the pool. It is a no-brainer to get in early. You know, there's only 131 tickets sold. We sold 200 that last week, 200 the week before. Rome wasn't built today. We've started with Bernard bonds from zero on June 11th, and look at our TVL now. I believe FortuneFi is going to do the same thing. I'm going to keep talking about it because I love it. There's nothing else like it. It's transparent, and it's going to be, it's going to be cool. So anything else we need to talk about, AJ?
Yeah, Ryan. No, man. Again, I think that was another epic AMA. Shout out to the new thumbnail. Me and Ryan on the beach hanging out. So yeah, man. No, I think it was a great show tonight, and an hour and a half in. Yeah, I mean, I could not be more excited for the future. Please share this video or any of the other standalone videos. Again, we've said many, many times that we're not reliant on new users, and that is so different in crypto. But obviously, we would love to have more people that want to get involved, and that speeds up the timeline of all of this with more participation. And again, with all the shit that we see right now, all the scams, all the Ponzi's, we are one of the only real DeFi protocols building that is not, backed by a VC fund or, doing real institutional, adoption. So, again, that's exciting. And I think once we do see retail get excited for crypto again, the floodgates are just going to open. And we're doing a lot more advertising as well. Obviously, Ryan is the OG. We would never do weekly AMA with anybody but Ryan. But we're looking into more, advertising avenues, different audiences, everything that goes into that to get more people here. Oh, and one more quick thing, Ryan. I do have a teaser on Plasm. So that was one
Oh,
thing that we forgot to announce. We are going to be implementing something really bullish for Plasm. So I'm not ready to quite say what it is. Joseph is going to be mad. He was asking for the alpha the minute we got on here, but just keep an eye out, because when we do have the rollover in about 10 days, we're going to be adjusting a little bit of the flow again to give some a hint, a little flow on how the yield is handled that I think a lot of people are going to be excited for with Plasm. So we're always building, we're always implementing. We have L stake coming, always building more things on top of the infrastructure. And yeah, Ryan, I appreciate all your help, and again, man, appreciate all of you that come and show up to these AMAs every week now for what over a year probably, right? I know.
long time. Long
Yeah, close. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Yes, and I always appreciate taking the time out, AJ, and let me be a part of all this. It's I think it's amazing. You never quit. You guys always pivot. You always adapt, and you always continue to build. And that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going anywhere. We're not rugging. We're not hiding behind a screen. We're right here in front of you, asking questions, even the hard ones. What's your guys' problem? How come you're not making us this much money? Ask anything you want. Nowhere else in the world or in crypto or anywhere else will you see that. And that's what you guys need to realize. Like AJ said, it's a matter of time before people get excited about crypto and the bull run hits. These things are absolutely go parabolic. So position yourself now is my recommendation. It's not financial advice, just my opinion. All right, guys. Like I said, Docs team, Docs owners, we're in front of you every week. Everything's on DBank and you can track everything. Nobody else does it like EMP, Umbrella, anything underneath. Bernard Bonds, DexFi, Plasm, EarnFi, everything. Okay, it's all here, and I hope you can be a part of it, because you're going to be part of a revolution, and we're going to be the only ones that anybody talks about. So, with that said, AJ, thank you for joining. We are out of here. It's been an hour and 35 minutes. I got things to do. So, with that said, I hope everybody has a great rest of their Tuesday evening, and we'll see you in the next one.
cheers.